In this video, we're going over the new best settings to use here in Black Ops 6 Season 4. These are designed to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill. Let's get into it. As you can see, I play with an Xbox Elite controller on PC with one paddle on the back set up for jumping. But these settings are going to work no matter what controller you are playing with, and also no matter what console or PC you are playing on. Now, for the button layout, I highly recommend playing on Tactical. Tactical is going to be the best button layout, remapping your crouch as well as prone button so you can perform a drop shot by just pressing down on your right thumbstick and still being aimed down sight. This is going to be allowing you to win a lot more close range gunfights, which is incredibly important when you couple it with the Omni movement here in Black Ops 6. Once I switched to Tactical years ago, I have not went back to the regular setting, even though I have switched to a controller with a paddle on the back. Now, for the rest of the settings here, I do go ahead and run my horizontal sensitivity at 1.6, as well as my vertical sensitivity at 1.6. The reason I go ahead and put it on 1.6 is because it's going to be a nice middle ground between not too slow as well as not too fast. This is technically going to be like a 6-7 sensitivity range, and I do recommend playing on the 1.2 to the 1.6 range for both horizontal and vertical if you're trying to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill, because you're going to be accurate enough to go out at longer ranges, but if somebody does come at you close range, you can still turn on them. So make sure you guys go ahead and run within the 1.2 to 1.6 range. That's going to be equivalent to a 4 and a 7 sensitivity if we're talking about the old values. Everything else here is also going to be the same. I have turned off my vibration. The reason I turn off vibration is because I don't want to have any type of stick play or controller play that could potentially throw off my aim and accuracy at those longer ranges. I've turned off vibration all the way back in Call of Duty World at War, and I have not seen a reason to go ahead and turn it back on. And here are my dead zone settings, just in case you want to take a look at them. These are going to be personal preference, spec'd out for your own controller as well as your controller health. So if you need to run my dead zone settings, check them out, but odds are you probably don't need to. And by the way, if you need help leveling up your weapons, Criminal Mods has your weapon leveling covered. They offer services such as max leveling all of your weapons, as well as unlocking camo challenges all the way up to Dark Matter. So for cheap, reliable, and fast Black Ops 6 services on all platforms, you can use my discount code EARS to save 5% off at Criminal Mods. Link is going to be at the top of the description. Now, under the aimings tab for sensitivity multiplier, the thing that you want to go ahead and make sure you adjust is you want to switch up your 80 sensitivity multiplier as well as your multiplier for focusing. This is going to be on default 1.0. I recommend going ahead and putting it at 0.7. This is so you have less stick play in your right thumbstick, so you can be a lot more accurate at longer ranges. If you are struggling with your long range gunfights, I feel like a lot of people can take somebody out at close range, long range, where people fall off. This is something that you're going to see an immediate improvement switching to, so I highly recommend making this adjustment. Now, advanced aiming settings, what you can see here is I do recommend going ahead and having your ADS sensitivity transition timing set to instant. If you do not go ahead and switch this to instant, you are going to have a delay. So if you don't want to have a delay, which I know for a fact nobody wants to have a delay, make sure you guys have this set to instant. It's going to allow you to be a lot more accurate quicker, which is going to be really important here in Black Ops 6. For your aim assist response curve type, I do play on standard. The reason why I recommend playing on standard is because it's going to be the easiest to get used to, and it's less likely to have a sudden aim assist update where they go ahead and change up all the values, and you essentially have to relearn how to utilize and abuse the aim assist here in Black Ops 6. They've done it in previous Call of Duties. They did it in Modern Warfare 3, and they did it at the beginning of Black Ops 6 before it even officially released. That's exactly why I recommend standard, just as a safety precaution. You're not waking up one day and having to legitimately relearn how to utilize the aim assist. It's incredibly frustrating. It's already happened twice. I'm not going to go ahead and deal with that again. That's exactly why I recommend on standard. Everything else is going to be the same. Target aim assist is going to be turned on, and I do not mess with any of the other aiming settings. For the movement, I do recommend playing on tactical sprint. This is so you can get around the map faster, and it's also one less button you have to press on your controller. That's going to be a massive W in my personal opinion. Your sprint assist delay must be set to 0 as well. Otherwise, you're going to have a delay when you are trying to go ahead and activate your tactical sprint. So make sure you guys have this set to 0. And everything else here is going to be turned off. I have mantle turned off, crouch assist turned off, corner slicing turned off, and my slide dive behavior is going to be set to hybrid. The reason I go ahead and put this on hybrid is so I'm not accidentally doing a movement or any type of the omni movement that's going to potentially throw off a gunfight. It can happen sometimes if there is like a low like ledge or something on the ground, like a box that you can mantle. While in a gunfight, accidentally mantling it, to guarantee death. And that's exactly why I go ahead and put everything on hybrid, or I have it turned off, so I am in full control of what my character is doing, so I can make sure that I am doing the actions I actually want my character to do while in a gunfight. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments because you do not need to. These settings are going to be rock solid. Now for the combat settings, what I do recommend you going ahead and doing is adjusting your C4 detonation. This is going to be set 1 by 1. This is so you don't actually have to throw both of them or multiple at the same time before activating it. It's just going to be a little bit easier to go ahead and utilize the C4 if you want to utilize C4, even though I don't really think C4 is that viable here in Black Ops 6. But everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments under the controller combat settings. Now, for the graphics settings, you can see that I have motion reduction preset turned off, arachnophobia mode turned off, and for the FOV, I always recommend playing within that 100 to 120 FOV range, and you absolutely must equip the affected ADS field of view. If this isn't selected, you're going to be missing out, because this is going to allow you to have your iron sight or whatever optic you're running mirrored at that 100 to 120 FOV, so it's going to be a lot easier to take people out at longer ranges. If you're ever wondering how other skilled players, YouTubers, or streamers have no recoil, or it might look like they have no recoil, it's because we're playing within that 100 and 120 FOV with the ADS field of view set to affected. This is going to drastically improve your medium as well as long range gunfights, and I highly recommend making the switch. This is something you're going to make the switch to and see an immediate improvement, which is going to be a massive W. And this is going to be super helpful if you are playing within that 1.2 and 1.6 sensitivity range. Everything else here is going to be the same. What I do recommend doing is turning off world motion blur, weapon motion blur, because it's going to be giving you a really annoying haze on your screen, especially if you're playing on a dark map. People are sitting in corners. It's going to be near impossible to see them if these are enabled. And for your first person camera movement, you want to put this at 50% just so there is less screen shake if an explosive goes off. This is going to be a drastic help if you are playing on maps like Nuketown, Babylon, or any other small map that a lot of explosions are going off constantly. You're going to see a massive improvement. And I do have on the inverted flashbang because I personally like this on. This is going to be a personal preference setting. It's less annoying when I get flashbang when I have inverted flashbang turned on. But everything else here is going to be the same under the graphics settings. Now, for the audio settings, they don't call me ears for nothing. I do recommend playing on the master game volume cranked all the way up to 100. And I obviously have the gameplay music reduced. You can tell in the video. It's nice, but it's just a little bit too loud for me. Everything else here is going to be the same. I do recommend playing on headphones bass boost so you can hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier. Because I do play with the headset, this is going to be super important so you can hear footsteps, gunfire, and pinpoint where enemies are at without the use of a UAV or a harp. So if you have a headset that you've bought within the last 7 years, you will be good to go. Seriously, running headphones bass boost. I bought these headsets back when Infinite Warfare was the main game, and they're still going amazing. So make sure you guys make those settings changes. Everything else here is going to be the same. And for the voice chat, I do have on push to talk for obvious reasons. I'm not going ahead and annoying the lobby. And finally, for the interface settings, the only thing that I go ahead and adjust is I go over to the gameplay HUD and I make sure that my mini map shape is going to be set to square. Not only is this going to be easier to read, but you do have a bigger mini map picture. So you can see where other people are essentially spawning at, where enemies are located when they are appearing on the mini map. And you can figure out exactly where you should position yourself on the map to get more kills, stay alive on your streak, and potentially drop your first nuke. These are going to be the absolute best settings to use at the start of season 4. Now, make sure you guys go ahead and adjust your horizontal and your vertical stick sensitivity. This is going to be super important when trying to first improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill. Then you can start running and gunning and dominating lobbies. If you guys do check out my settings and tear it up, let me know down in the comment section after going ahead and getting some games and come back to the video. And if you guys want to stay up to date with any and all news, updates, best class setups, and future settings updates, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.